Okay, so here we're working on an AC. There's a lot going on this unit. At this point, I just pretty much walked in after the fact. The blower motor was pulled out, and we're going to deal specifically with that portion on this video. I'm not sure what was going on here. Looks like somebody cut out the transformer, put in a new transformer, connected a fuse, didn't even put this properly. And then they tie in a fuse over here. So there's a lot going on this one, and that's going to happen a lot of times when you're walking into diagnosing or troubleshooting a system. You're not sure what the last guy was doing or what he was trying to accomplish, and so you're pretty much just having to kind of create order out of this chaos that's going on. I have the fan motor that was pulled out. You can see that it does have a run capacitor. Now what I did for troubleshooting and testing purposes is I pretty much just tied in this wire to my prongs coming out of my hot and my neutral to feed this blower 120 volts. See here, I did give it 120 volts. And this motor is not operating at its proper speed. The capacitor's been replaced. You can see right here where it just kind of locks up. Right here, if you try to rotate the shaft, you can see it's just locked in there. At this point, we're going to go ahead and replace the fan motor, this blower motor that goes into the attic. And this should be just a good video just showing you how to take out the old one and install your new one. See here, it's been about 5 minutes, and you can see that it's completely stopped running. If you touch the surface of this, it's extremely hot. Here we have our new capacitor. So at this point, we do know that the blower motor does need to be replaced. The thing that needs to be done to remove this blower is to just loosen this nut that ties on to the shaft. And once we remove that, that will give us the ability to remove the 3 bolts on the opposite end and pull the motor out. So we have a crescent wrench, and we're just going to loosen it. Once you loosen it, you should be able to push it up and down. It'll slide on the shaft. I'm going to remove my ground wire, my ratchet. I'm going to remove my 3 bolts. Remove your 3 bolts. You should be able to grab these brackets right here and pull the blower motor right out. I'm just loosening this bracket that goes around the blower. And once we loosen that, we should be able to just install it on the new one. I'm just marking my old motor just to give me an idea of where I'm going to be putting it on my new motor. Now I'm just removing the wires that were being held by my zip tie. Here I have my mark. This is where I put my bracket, pretty much around the same height that it was on the old one. And now I'm just going to work the legs. The legs basically just slide inside, and we'll work it in place and then refasten this nut and bolt. Here the legs basically just slide right in, and there's a groove right here. You can see the notch on both ends, and that's where we're going to fasten it. We're going to tighten and fasten our nut and bolt. Just make sure when you're doing that that you're just properly adjusting your legs. You can see here the leg fell a little bit, so we want to get it right there. Just make sure that you're looking at all 3 as you're doing this to make sure that you fasten it properly. I fed my wires back through the zip tie that was originally here. If you accidentally break it, go ahead and re-zip tie your wires coming out from the fan motor. This is going to give it a nice secure hold so it doesn't move and you don't have play on the wires. I'm going to re-secure our ground wire. You want to make sure before reattaching your squirrel cage. So here, this is the shaft. A lot of people make the mistake when they're resecuring the nut here at the base. They just put it anywhere. But if you look at the shaft, you can see there's a flat edge right here. These are the only places on the shaft that you can actually secure your nut that ties in to fasten to the shaft itself. I've seen times where guys will fasten it here on the sphere part of the shaft, and they'll tighten it nice and tight, and then over time it'll actually lose its grip. So just make sure you put it here on the flat surface. Secondly, when you're putting in your squirrel cage, make sure that you put it at a level where it's not scraping against anything. So what I had to do was I had to hold it, kind of move it and rotate it, make sure I wasn't hitting anything, and then secure it at the same time. Usually here where the capacitor is, there's a strap that goes around here, but that was missing, so I just kind of made just here, cut a piece of my own strap and just secured it so that the capacitor isn't moving around when the blower motor is on. My wire to do the testing, sending 120 volts. This is just a regular cord right here, and these are the prongs that come off of the blower motor. And you can see here you have your neutral, which is your white, and then you have your black, which is your hot. Basically what I do is I just kind of insert right here the wires into each lead, and then I just kind of put electrical tape around it to secure it. And like I said, it's just for troubleshooting, just so we can just test the motor, make sure it's operating and rotating in the proper direction. It'll look like this, and then I'll just put electrical tape around it and plug it in. Make sure that you unplug your power source to your FAU. Right now we're just going to remove this old transformer. It's part of really having to remove and put in your new blower motor is just having enough clearance. Sometimes you'll find that there's a rod like this one that's right in front of the doorway, so you'll have to make adjustments just to get in there. But right now we're pretty good as far as clearance. When you're putting your new blower motor in, you have to just pay attention. You see here, there's a groove that's going to allow you to slide the blower motor in. And on this end, you have just a little screw on the top and on the bottom right here. So when you look at your blower motor, you can see here, if you look at this right here, this is the part that's going to slide in, and this is the part where you're going to screw and secure it. And this is really going to be the hardest part of reassembling and getting your system back up and running after you replace the blower motor. You can see here, if I zoom in, that I got the lip inside of that groove. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide it in very slowly. Be careful, you can see the boards right here, we have wires. So just be very careful, you don't want to cut any wires accidentally. So just take your time, don't just shove it in, just kind of work your way and finesse it. You see here, we slid it in, and now we're going to put in our screws to secure this blower motor. We get the blower motor in and secure. We're going to just assemble, just put the board in. Here I already assembled the new transformer, and make sure it's just nice and secure. You don't want the transformer shaking around in there. And now we're going to see if we can kind of clean up some of these wires. The wire in our blower. You see here, this is the neutral, and this is a new board. So you can see here it's already labeled BLW. This is the entire neutral section, and the white one is going to go to our blower section. Here, my yellow lead coming from my blower is going to go to the spare 1 terminal. The red one is going to go onto the spare 2 terminal on my board. I'm left with 2 wires, my black and my blue. The black is going to go to the cool terminal on the board, and the blue one is going to go to my heat terminal, which I've already made those attachments. We're just reattaching our sleeve, and then we're going to attach our ductwork right here. It will basically just slide in through the side where you see this opening right here. So here we're at the thermostat. We're going to put our setting to cool, leave it on auto. We're going to drop the temperature down to 78. And now at this point, the thermostat is going to have a small click that you're going to hear, and then you'll see cool, it'll start to flash. Now depending on the situation, these thermostats do have a up to 5-minute delay. So be patient if something doesn't happen right away, and then just wait for that delay and the thermostat will start running. Right now I plugged in the power source to my FAU. It may not be a plug, it may be a switch. I'm holding my bypass switch right here, and this is just tricking the system into thinking that the front face or the panel here is on, and you can see the blower motor is running. video was a help. If it was informational, please subscribe.